What's up guys, welcome back to another episode here on ATM10 to this guys, and in today's episode we hop into the hostile neural network mod. Okay, so diving straight into the hostile neural network mod, we're going to need ourselves three simple things. That's being the deep learner, the loop fabricator, and the simulation chamber. Now because we're very late into the game, we should be able to make ourselves all of these already. And these are going to get my nerves, so let's just quickly hit sleep. Okay, next we need loop fabricator. Right now we're just going to make one, and this is going to depend on how many mobs we're going to be learning. Now, let's get ourselves the deep learner as well. And then to top all this off, we need ourselves the model frame. And just like that, we now have a model frame. So with a deep learner, we can throw our mobs in here, which we can start learning. First, we need to go find a mob that we want and actually bind it to this framework. So in order to do that, we're going to be looking for some certain mobs. Now, these are the four we've got right here: the evoker, the wither, the shulker, and the wither skeletons. Whether we do that now or later, because we do have a source of nether stars, but this is a lot better of a source. It'll be a lot faster, especially if we get the tier of the mob to self-aware. So we gotta go over to the nether, and we gotta find ourselves a nether fortress in order to get these wither skeletons. So let's head there right now. Okay, so using these waystones, we can actually teleport ourselves straight to the nether and back once we find the fortress, because once we get there, it's just going to spawn us at a portal, which is going to be in the void in the middle of nowhere. Then we've got to fly around. So to get to the nether, we need a nether cake, or maybe we can just build the portal itself. So let's make a temporary portal. Okay, so using the obsidian, we can just make a vanilla standard portal. We could make a cake for it, but this is going to be the easiest way. So there is a portal. Now once we go in, we will not have access to our ME system because I don't think it is cross-dimensional. So let's head up in here, and we have the waystone on us so we can get back to base. As you can see right now, we are in the nether. And now we've got to fly around and look for this portal. We got to look for this nether fortress. So hopefully it don't take too long to find one. And just like that, we've now found ourselves one of these portals. One of these nether fortresses. I don't know why I keep saying portal. Okay, so let's head down to this wither. And, oh, they have bows. They have flame bows. We should just be able to right-click one of these. And there we go. We now have a wither skeleton data module. So let's just place this down somewhere safe. I am being shot from everyone. So actually, before we kill these guys, if we throw this model in here, you can see it's going to be a faulty tier. The more we kill, the higher this tier is going to actually go. So if we throw this in our offhand, we should be able to see it's leveling up. In the top left, you can see. And just like that, we've now got it to a basic module. And honestly, all these things are so annoying. Okay, so let's place our waystone down in here. I'm going to call this the nether fortress. Let's save that. If we right click on this, we could teleport home and back. So we can use this hole in the roof right here. And this should get us back and forth. And we just got a backpack from killing all them. So the reason we came here is to get the wither skeletons in one of our modules, but we did forget something. Okay, so now that we're back here, we need to find ourselves some spawners. These blaze spawners right here. So if you put these in a cardboard box, it's packaged, and then we can just simply pick it up. That's popped off. So now we've got the spawner inside a cardboard box. We can just simply break it, and we have the cardboard box. You can see it's got inside of it a mob spawner, which is spawns blaze. Could do the same to the one over here. Just throw this in. And just like that, we now have two that start in blazes. Now the reason we're doing this is because we can actually bring home these spawners and we can change them into any spawner we want using a spawn egg, which will overwrite the blaze. I don't know why I just got shot from them. So let's head in here. Let's head home. So now we have these two spawners. All we need to do is disable them. So in order to disable them, I believe it is a redstone repeater or a comparator. It's one of them. So let's just pop in here. Let's throw this blaze down. Only the one. Take the box off. So we use the comparator and it's now turned the spawner off. So this is currently spawning nothing. Not even the blaze that are currently in there. You can see it stopped spinning and the particles have now gone. So to overwrite this, we need a spawn egg. And the spawn egg we want is the evoker, but also the wither skeletons. So for us to get those wither skeletons to spawn in, just right here, we need to swab a skeleton. So we're going to be hopping in a different mod for this. So if we get a swab, which are these things right here, these mob swabs. So we can make ourselves one of these and we can use this on the wither skeleton to collect its DNA. So now that we have this DNA for the wither skeleton, we can actually use that and craft ourselves this chicken feed. Now all we need is just any type of seed as well as some buckets of experience. And just like that, we now have ourselves access to this. Now we've got to make sure the right swab is in here, which is the wither skeleton DNA. So let's click that. And now that that's done, all we got to do is go all the way over to our little trader over here. And with this guy, we should be able to trade ourselves in some... So right here, we can get ourselves some chicken spawn eggs. So with this chicken spawn egg, if we spawn him in and feed him this chicken feed, he'll puff up. And you can see right there, he's now dropped the wither skeleton egg. So with this egg, we can come over to the spawner. And if we just right click on this spawner, it's now changed it from a blaze to a wither skeleton. So by searching in spawner and clicking in it, we can see all the modifications. So with the turtle egg, spawner will also give baby entities when possible. Some of these have spawn range, spawn count, so giving it fermented spider eye would increase the amount of entities we can get at once, which could actually benefit us in speeding this process up. So we've got redstone control. The spawner requires redstone to activate, so redstone comparator. And just from looking through these, you can see what we can give it. Now, if we give it a nether star, everything that spawns will ignore players. So it can just spawn no matter where we are in the world, which makes automating these spawners pretty cool. However, we're not going to be doing that. Okay, so now we have these items which will increase the chance it spawns. So if we hold control, you can see at the top, the min spawn delay is going to go down. The max spawn delay has gone down. And everything else has. Now, with these items, I believe we can actually use more than one. So if we use the sugar, yeah, look, we can just keep on clicking. And that top one is just going to keep on going down. Now, the min spawn delay is on its the least it can be, which is going to speed up their spawn a lot quicker. Now, we can do the same for the fermented spider eyes. Just like this, you can see the spawn count is now going up. And I believe with us making clocks, I made a bit too many clocks, it is bringing down the max spawn delay. And the lowest this can go is also 20. So now, if I place down this lever next to it, and we activate this, this should be spawning instantly. Okay, there we go. We just had to give it a we had to give it a soul lantern, which makes it spawn whenever, no matter what the light is. So now if we just stand here, see in the top left, it's just going to keep going down. Now we could just sit here and just tank all these. Like, look how many is spawning. We're going to complete this almost instantly. Yeah, bring it on, withers. So you can see now we're superior on our way to the next tier. So we're just going to keep on killing these till the next tier. And, yeah, maybe some of the mobs, we don't put it on the quickest spawn. Because these things actually spawn a lot faster than I thought they would. And you can see already we are at 6. So it honestly gets the job done pretty fast. And just like that, we are now on the max model. So we need to come over to this lever and flick it off. And all that loot is just laying on the floor. There's honestly a lot of loot here. So now our model is on self-aware. What this allows us to do is we should be guaranteed. So we come in here and we take this out. We should now be guaranteed this to give us predictions. So you can see basic tier, we've got 5% to get this prediction right here. Superior is 65. But self-aware is guaranteed 100%. So we're guaranteed to get this wither skeleton prediction every single time. And with this, we can actually change into any items we want. Whether it's being wither skeleton skulls, coal, bones, skull fragments, etc. So the next thing is evokers. Now to get these evokers, we need to actually spawn one in. As you just saw, we need to swab an evoker. So if we craft ourselves a swab, there is a swab. Now we got to find a way to get this evoker. So in order to do that, I believe we got to spawn in like a villager island or something like this. So we're just going to look around. Okay, so to get this evoker, we need to summon a raid. And in order to do that, we need to summon a village. So we can actually craft a village using these Ars Noir saplings and just some random bits and bobs. So we should actually have all that. So come in here. There we go. Okay, so now that we have this tablet, we're going to need a few more things in order to summon this. One of them is being the ritual. So this is what we're going to end up placing it on. Now we need these source gems, which are obtained by placing a lapis or amethyst in an imbuement chamber. So how do we get an imbuement chamber? Looks a bit like this, and we need some planks. Now we do have this type of wood. Let's just do that. Throw all that in. And we can now get ourselves this imbuement chamber. So if we grab ourselves some lapis. Let's head down into our caves. So I believe this needs like crafting progress is 8. Crafting source gem. Add a source nearby to increase the craft speed. Okay, so to speed up this process, we need to feed it source. So to get source, we can actually use our mob farm. So with this source jar, if we just place it near our mob farm, I think all then we should have to do is make this a vitality source link, which I think I should be able to make. We just need to glisten melon. Vitality source link. Then I believe we just place this next to it. There we go. So every time a mob dies, it is sending it to this source link, which is then filling up this jar. Now this jar is 18% full, and if I place this close, so if I throw this closer to this, will it go any faster? You can see like that, it is just crazy fast. So 20, 60, 100, it is definitely a lot faster. And now we need to use this for the rest of our ritual stuff. So in order for this, we need to craft ourselves this source gem. We also need an arcane pedestal, which requires some source stones. So we're going to need a bit more of these source gems. So let's get ourselves some of these. one of these. And one of these. And now we have the ritual resin, which we should just be able to place this island on top of it, and it should just make it done. So with this jar, we can now take this full jar, because I believe we're going to need this for the process. We've got a little platform out over here, so we're just going to throw it in. So hopefully it spawns what we need. So if we place that there, didn't mean to place that on top. And this is awaiting activation. So now it's running and it's building the full island. Now I did use that full source jar. Hopefully that's all it needed. And just like that, I believe it is now done. So let's take our stuff back. We can take them, and in here, we've got a car, we've got some torches. We've got quite a lot of stuff in here, actually. But mainly, we have these villages. So now we should actually be able to start a raid using these guys. And with our swab, we can swab an evoker. So let's just get ourselves some swabs. So we can now swap an evoker, which will allow us to get the next item, which is we want an unlimited supply of totems of undying, which will help us a lot in future videos. Okay, so let's bring out our ominous bottle, and if we drink this, we now have Bad Omen 5. So if we come over here, this should class as a village. It should spawn a raid. Yeah, Red Omen 5. Now we're looking specifically for the evokers. Now I got multiple because I can't remember what evokers look like. I believe they're the ones that spawn in Vexes, I want to say. Is this raid going to happen? There we go. The raid is now happening and all the villagers are fleeing. Guys, I think you're safe inside your houses. So we're looking for this one. These are not them. What are you? You're pillagers? Quite a lot of pillagers. Right, the next test, I believe they come on wave 3, I would like to say. So let's see if I am right about that. What's you? You are a Vindicator. Don't want Vindicators, thank you. Ooh. Holy. Go on, Iron Golem. Get that little assist right there. Freaking helping us out a lot. So, oh, these are nice lions. This next raid should give us the focus. Oh, we got a Ravager. Holy crap, guys, that took a while. And we also got a Vex spawner because we got capturing on our sword. So, let's dump all these stuff again. It's not that we need, it's this right here. So we got a mob swab. We're gonna get a swab of another one once we get it spawned in. But basically, all we need to do is the same process as earlier. Okay, so let's put the evoker swab in there, the experience. There we go. Chicken spawn egg. Let's feed you so you pop, and just like that, we have the evoker spawn egg. So now we're going to swap this with a skeleton for the evoker. We're going to hit spawn, and they're going to spawn instantly. We're going to swap it. We actually do need some framework though. That is something we did forget. So whilst I'm in here, I'm going to grab some apples because these little vexers are annoying. So we need to go over to one of these, right click it, there we go, we got the model. Throw this in the deep learner. And now all we've got to do is kill them. I don't know how easy these are going to be because it spawns all these little guys. And these little guys are going to be the problem. Like, there's already so many of them. And I can't even hit them. And for the last one, there we go. We now have a self-aware module. So whilst these guys are slowly dying around me, we're going to get down the simulation chamber and the loot fabricator. So the simulation chamber is basically going to make us the predicaments. So we're going to, I think in total we want 4. So 1, 2, how should we do this? So we got 1. The overworld, which is the evokers. So we're going to put the overworld here. So we're going to place a flux pipe right here. We're also going to make some more simulation chambers. So in total we want 4, I think is what we said. So if we make us a simulation chamber, we actually have it over here. And all we need is glass. Okay, so with everything we got, we can actually start doing this. So another one, I believe we've only got the wither skeletons, and for the end, we have 2. So in order for us to do this, let's first get in the power. So link this to our main. It's now going to provide that power. We also want it to provide this power. And this one. So let's just link this with some energy pipes. Just like this. Bring out our wrench. And we do need to change our pipes at some point because we are using these very beginner pipes, which ain't really doing it for us. So now all this is linked with power. So in these simulation chambers, we got to insert the data module. So in this one, we're going to put the wither skeleton. And because it's self-aware, we throw these in here. It will then use that and it will craft us a wither skeleton prediction as well as the nether matter. So we're going to have to extract both of those things and send the wither skeleton prediction into this loot fabricator. So let's do that. Let's get the loot fabricator there. So then we're going to take from these items. So the item we want to take is the fabricators. And just like that, it is now pumping all the fabricators into this barrel. Into this loot fabricator even. So we're going to do that for every single one. Now these two, we've got to disconnect. Now it's only going to extract the prediction, because that is all this block can hold. So we don't have to put any filters or anything in that, which works perfect for us. Now the items we want, well, the items we're going to get from this is we're always going to get ourselves the 3 different world matters. So that's going to be the end, the nether, and the overworld. So all these like matters right here. And then from this one, this is where we're going to throw in the evoker. So the evoker we're going to set to give us maybe, I believe it's ton of undying we get from that. But from here, let's get some wither skeleton skulls. So once we give these power, it will be on its way. So again, here, we're just going to put the same things in. Boom and boom. So this is very simple setup. It doesn't look the best. We'll probably tidy it up a later down the line, but we're just going to show you how this gets working. So For now, we haven't got any of the end ones. We'll probably do that off camera. So if we connect the power to here, this is now getting power, which these predictions are turning into wither skeleton skulls, which we can then extract them from here and only them. And we now get wither skeleton skulls. And you can see at the bottom, we have 12 of them. So now with our config tool, we can actually lock that in place. And nothing else will be going into this barrel. However, this back here is making this nether prediction. Now this is going to cause us a problem, because when this gets full, it won't craft anymore. So we need to take those items and send them into this barrel. So let's disconnect all these. And now we just need to take all these out. Okay, we can place them back in there. We can lock that. So now that is getting sent through this pipe and into here. We now have 14 of them. So this is our nether matter. This is our wither skeleton skulls. Now I need to do the same for the evokers, which is getting sent into here. Emeralds or totems of undying. We want totems of undying. The totems of undying we're going to send into here. The overworld matter we're going to send into here. So this is what it's looking like right now. It's very tacky. We need to neaten that up. So let's do that. Okay, it looks so much better, and with our ME interface over there, we've managed to have that auto craft these predicaments, which we're filtering in through here. So it's going to keep on filtering 64, so these will keep full. We also managed to get ourselves a shulker. We did go to the end. And you can see right here, we got shulkers. They're easy to kill, apart from when they teleport all over the place, which is quite annoying. And I do hear one. There it is. Holy! It is like a nest of spiders. So yeah, just two-shot them. It's nubby, but yeah, so now all we gotta do is connect the power, and it should power all these machines, which will then get us the 3 matters and the 3 things that we're making. So in this one, it's going to be the totems. This one is going to be the wither skulls, and in this one, once we actually generate one, we're going to set it to the shulker shells. So let's give this thing power and hope it all works perfectly. That's got power, that's got power. Getting power everywhere. Okay, so you can see now we finally actually got this in. So we've got some wither skulls in here. We can lock that. Totems of undying, we can lock that. Now the totems only have a storage of 32, so we're going to have to get some big upgrades in these. Right there, we want you there. Lock you. And then let's get you making some shulker shells. No, we didn't mean to lock that there. Just like that. Now they're all locked in place. That's going to do its corresponding things. And now we just need some draw upgrades from the functional storage. So what upgrades are them? Functional storage. We need these netherite upgrades. Let's actually make ourselves some templates, because I crafted some earlier and I'm probably going to need a lot more. So let's get the copper one. Gold. Diamond. And the netherite we got to do ourselves in a smithing table. Actually, believe it or not, we can have it smith them as well. So if we make this into a template, if we also got ourselves some of them, so if we do smithing, let's get ourselves one of these. We're gonna constantly might need another ME requester. ME requester. Boom, boom. So with this ME requester, we can shove that right there. It's got enough channels, perfect. Let's throw you in there. We want to always keep at least 64. That's 64. Have I already got that in here somewhere? Oh. Smithing template right there. And then, if we come back in here and go back to the functional storage, we can actually make this craft the netherite storage. All we need now is a smithing table, which we have one right here. Beautiful. So that's smithing table. We need an interface. And just like this process up here, which you've seen do many times, we just need to filter all this in. Okay, so now that's set up in the corner, we should be able to just throw all these in. So let's get us all these, and then if I go up here, and I believe they're called upgrade. Can we make ourselves a netherite upgrade? Or can we not? So it has scheduled this to send, but it doesn't look like this is pulling in the items. Okay, we currently can't figure it out, so we're just going to do this by hand, just because we're cutting it short on time. So let's dump all this back in here. We'll get that sorted between episodes at some point, but we just need these for now, because mainly these. You can see this is already full up. I cannot hold no more. Got 46 in there, so if we come in here, give it upgrades, we can now hold 36 million. Do the same for you. And we're just gonna do the same for all these. As you can see in the bottom left now, they've all got these little things. And if we hover above them, some hold a few million, some hold billions. So that is now going to be linked to that machine down there. So we should just be able to right click this and it'll reach in. So now if we do like nether, yeah, right here, generate nether predictions. So it is all in and it all works. So soon we should be able to make us as many shulkers as we want. We also need to clear that room down there of shulkers, because they kind of invaded my area, which we don't want happening. And this over here, I don't think I've shown this episode, but yeah, we got a few million items in here, a couple thousands, and it's definitely doing its thing. And this room is slowly coming together. We have our geos over here. We've just started our small hostile neural network system, which was starting to produce a small amount of these matters. And yeah, honestly, it's starting to look cool. I don't know what we're going to be diving into next episode, but it's going to hold some adventures for us. But I'm going to end this episode here, guys. So if you enjoyed and would like to see more on this series, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, bell notifications turned on. I'll see you all in the next one.